Hello everyone. We're just waiting for a couple of more people to join. And today we are going to talk about BuddyX and how it can be useful for your community and what are the pain point or on which point people are asking support. So we are going to discuss about those common points which are normally asked by everyone who is trying to create a community. And the primary objective is to cover up the basic support request what we are getting with a BuddyX or anyone who is trying to create a community. Second thing, what can be done, what cannot be done, and how you can monetize your community. That is the second objective. And in the meanwhile, we are also going to suggest or what are the available options to extend your community, what are the available options to make your community secure. Along with, we are also going to help on those points what are getting asked by our audience, and we are going to answer all those questions asked by anyone. So first of all, we have a sandbox demo for the BuddyX. And here, what we have at present, I have just created a fresh WordPress installation and then created the BuddyX theme and installed the demo data. And we are offering the same thing as a demo installer with our BuddyX. So anyone who is trying to test our BuddyX theme, they just have to navigate to our website and they can start the demo and they will get the same interface with all the functionalities pre-installed, and they can play with all the functionalities what we have inside the backend. Um, just trying to double check no one is getting skipped on the site. So we have a couple of demos already created at our end, and when someone is trying to create any of these demos, they're getting a pre-installed setup with all these plugins. So it gives them a flexibility to understand how flexible the theme is and what are the options they can use with the theme. And right now, the basic demo setup, what we are offering to try, these are the plugins what we have pre-installed and pre-configured at our sandbox demos, which include BuddyPress, BBPress, Follow plugin, along with the LearnDash, GiveMePress, RT Media, and the event calendar. And Activity Share Pro and the BuddyPress Reaction is the bundle plugin which comes with the BuddyX Pro theme as well. Okay, for the site point of view, when someone is trying to create a community, these are the common things what they are expecting on their website. Like they can engage with their members, they can display a member directory for their members, along with the core BuddyPress functionalities like groups and the forums. And BuddyX gives them a nice and clean overview with all these functionalities. And the plus point with the theme is it is pretty optimized and standard coded. So you do not have to work on the further optimization on the speed because everything as a template label, everything is well tested, and the same skeleton is also available on the WordPress.org. The free plugin is also getting tested by the WordPress.org team, and right now it is active on free version is active on 4,000 plus installation, and the paid version is also active for lots of communities, and they are actively using this BuddyX Pro theme. So the basic questions arise like, what are the common features what people are looking for? The first thing is the login screen. Okay, so by default, if I'm trying to log out from this demo, I'm trying to log in again as a staging website just to make sure I'm on the same site instead of creating a new site again. So I'm logging into a current staging website. The primary purpose is to demonstrate this website in terms of how to set up a branded login page, how to set up a branded registration page, and what are the possible options what you can do with the website. So right now, if someone is not logged in on the website, how the basic login page look like? It is the default WordPress installation, so it will follow the WordPress installation path. So you have WordPress logo and this basic login screen. So the first things what you need to do to change your login page or rebrand the same login page for the security point of view or for your brand representation point of view. So the first thing what we have here, you do not need any third-party plugin for that one. These branding options are part of the BuddyX theme itself. So inside the BuddyX, we have login options inside the customizer. Anyone, if have any questions, you can also submit your questions inside the Zoom chat or on the YouTube chat. Okay, so right now on the customizer option, we have WP login option here. And here you can upload your logo. And you can also set a width and the height on that one. Suppose that I'm going to set a 284 pixel. And if you also want to set a login, these are the basic configuration what you can do. It will help you to change the WordPress logo with the BuddyX one. And when you're clicking on that one, instead of sending you to the BuddyX WordPress.org, you will be sent to the same link what you have included there. Okay, the second thing is we also have a couple of theme options. So we have a couple of themes already created, like a single column, and we also have a split view. So if you are trying to utilize these options, first of all, I'm trying to disable them just to demonstrate how it look when we are not using the theme options. Without theme options, the changes what we have done was logo, and we have also included a link there. So your new login page, the same WP login.php, we haven't created any separate login page at present. We are trying to utilize the same default WordPress login.php. And right now we have changed the login page with logo and the login, the link of the website here. So someone is going to click on that one, they will navigate to the main website. Okay, this is the first option what we have. And second, if we are trying to implement any themes, so we have first option, publish. It will give you a background option, and you can also change your image, what you want to utilize here. And it will display something like this. So you are completely free to change your background image. And you also have further more functionalities there to control them. There's one more, the popular option is this split layout. You can include some text here. With this approach, your login page will, after publishing, it will display something like this. Okay, so you can change the color, and you can also change the background image for that one from another options. So you can find these options here, customizing login form. You can also customize set a background. You can also set a transparency on that one. So you have lots of options to play with. In the same way, you also have a forward form. You can also change the background image for that one. And background image can be changed from here. You can choose any one of these existing one, or you can upload your own. And even you can also upload a lightweighted video, like any simple video, not a bulky one. It will impact the site performance. But we also have flexibility to use the video, some motion screen for the login page. And in the same way, we also have registration options that can be enabled in the split view. And you can use the logo on that one. First of all, we have to make sure the registration is enabled for the. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure we have enabled the registration so I can demonstrate the register page. With the BuddyPress, we are getting some new functionalities in the recent version. By default, you have a membership option, like anyone can register. This is the WordPress default. And nowadays, BuddyPress also have a private mode. Instead of using any third-party plugin, you can also enable your community functionalities using these options. So we have membership request option, and you can also set a invite mode for them. And membership request option can be enabled when we have disabled the registration functionality from the general setting. So let me disable this one just to demonstrate. So in that way, if this functionality is disabled and you are going to enable this membership request functionality, so anyone who is getting registered to the website, they will be approved first from the backend, then they can log into the website. And that is going to help in a couple of cases where people are getting spam registration. So earlier we have a couple of plugins like registration option type plugins. Nowadays you can use inbuilt BuddyPress functionalities where you can moderate those members who is coming to the website. And once you approve them, they will be the part of website. In that way, you can control the spam registration. Okay, the next part is we are trying to showcase how the register page look like. Okay, we had enabled the register page from the backend, and now the registration page. What we have done inside the theme, like we had overridden the functionalities here, and you have a logo, you have a sign-in link, and the same profile options what you have set for the BuddyPress section, they are going to be displayed on this right side sections. And this part, you can change the background image and display whatever you want to display there. So in that way, you are getting a branded registration page. And in the same way, you also have the same look and feel the login page. Okay, so images and color combination, wordings, everything can be changed. For membership moderation point of view, what I had explained right now. So if this mode is enabled, any registration who is going to process, now you can see that instead of registration, we are getting request membership option. So in that way, they are going to request their membership. And once it is approved from the backend, then they will be approved. Second thing, with the common request, what we are getting is to have a different login page instead of using wplogin.php. So there are a simple option for that one. First of all, we can create a new login page, and we can use any page builder for that purpose. Second, there are a couple of plugins like login with Ajax, and we can use these plugins to create a login page with a simple interface. And we can also set our background with Gutenberg and display it as a login page. And the plus point of these login plugins, you do not have to control or check lots of conditions there, because those plugins are already going to cover all those possible cases. Login with Ajax. So this is the one popular plugin what we are normally using for any website. And there are a couple of more like theme, my login. Normally, I do not suggest this plugin because it try to override everything. So this is not in my suggestion list. Normally, we go with the login with Ajax. Or you can utilize the Elementor. They also provide a login wizard. You can also utilize the same functionality there. Okay, the next one is when we have this plugin installed, it provides a simple shortcode. Login with Ajax, it provides a simple shortcode, something like this. All pages. Shortcode. Okay. The shortcode what they provide is simple login with Ajax. So if you're using any page builder, Elementor, Gutenberg, or anyone, you just have to inject this shortcode in your page builder, and you are able to create your login form. You can add some content before or after, and it will display a login visit, a simple login visit. You can also create it or use it inside the sidebar. It's completely your call. Okay. The second problem, what people face, like they create login pages, but their question arises, how I change this top link to this login page. So inside the theme, we also have an option inside our customizer where you can map your pages. So if you have created custom pages for login or registration, you just have to utilize our page mapping option. So inside the customizer, we have a general setting for the page mapping. These options are not mandatory. As I mentioned, you are, if you have any custom page, only in that case you can utilize these options, or you can skip them. By default, BuddyPress new approach doesn't come with a registration page. So you do not need to map any option unless you are going to create a new slash register page or anything what you are going to create as a custom using Gravity form or some third-party form builders, then you have to map this registration page. Else, by default, our setting will automatically capture the BuddyPress registration URL and link them to the register button. So if I'm trying to check the login page again, so this link now goes to the login page slash login. So in that way, you can change your top link to the custom login page what you have created. I'm not focused on beautification of this login page. You can easily do that with any page builder. And for the registration link, as I mentioned earlier, if you haven't mapped anything, then this will automatically link to the BuddyPress registration page. Sometimes people want to link them to the My Account page, which is coming from the WooCommerce or any third-party plugins, what they are trying to use. So if you do not want to create a custom login page and you have WooCommerce at your website, then I will suggest you can link this login and registration both to this My Account page. So in that way, you do not have to worry about any third-party integration with the registration and the login for the reCAPTCHA or anything, or social login integration. Everything are going to be managed automatically on WooCommerce My Account page, or any default integration can also be supported using login with Ajax or default WordPress plugin.php. So this interface allow you to have social login, and it also support the reCAPTCHA plugins. So that's why we have suggested Ajax login with Ajax, because this plugin is already popular, and it also support most of login captcha plugins and social login plugins. We also have login pop-up options. So if you are trying to utilize our website and you want to give them a simple option for the login pop-up, so we also allow them to display the login as a pop-up. And the second thing, if you have any third-party shortcode for that one, you can also utilize any shortcode there, custom shortcode. Suppose that I have login with the Ajax shortcode there. So if I want to utilize the same shortcode here, I can also do that. So either you are going to use our login form, or you can use some third-party plugin shortcode for the login pop-up option. So these are the two options, and we can also display the registration form inside the pop-up. But I personally do not suggest to complete the registration flow as a pop-up, because that will be a little bit tricky for them. It might be closed, might be their form is half filled and they have clicked somewhere else. So it will be best to send them to a dedicated page for the registration. For the pop-up, login pop-up, that is okay, but not for the registration. Okay, and how it look like. The pop-up functionality, what we have, it also support third-party social login plugins and reCAPTCHA plugins. We have also published a couple of snippet how to use our hookable positions to integrate them at our documentations website. So the pop-up will look like this. And if you have also enabled the registration pop-up, then it will display a long form with what of the field what we have enabled on the BuddyPress end. Okay, these are the things where people are going to start, and they're normally stuck with these things, with the common problems like the registration flow and the login flow. The next hurdle they are getting with is to set up these BuddyPress pages. The problem what they face nowadays, like if you are going to search any documentation on the net, you will be get confused, because nowadays BuddyPress do not have any page mapping option, and now they have URLs. So in the recent 12.0 plus changes, the page mapping option has been removed. And nowadays, these URLs are not actual pages, these are actually custom post type. We call them directory pages. And these directory pages are not getting listed inside your page list. So the problem is how to apply sidebar, how to apply any different template, or how to make any changes on these pages. That is a little bit tricky. So all these sidebar options, you do not have to go to the page section. We have already covered all these sidebar option from our customizer section. And for these directory pages, what we are getting here, the problem is how to include them to the menu. Okay, inside the appearance menu, if you go to the menus, if you click on the screen option, you have two new options, BuddyPress directories and BuddyPress members. Earlier we had only one BuddyPress. Now we have two separate checkbox. So these BuddyPress directories will have all the page linking. These one. Okay. So you will get registered groups, members, activity here, which can be utilized to create your primary menu. And we also have a user specific menus where these are more dedicated to logged in actions. So suppose that we have activity, profile, notification, messages, and these are coming from these BuddyPress items. These are the dynamic links based on who is logged in. And there's a trick part with this one. So suppose that we have one media link and I have to create a media link here. What I can do, so I'm going on the custom links first. Actually, I have enabled the gamification plugin. That's why we are getting these lots of menus. So suppose that if you have to create any dynamic link for a member, we just have to include me parameter, like your domain name slash member path slash me slash media. So that will help you to create a custom user menu. And suppose that I'm going to include it below the activity. So we also get these type of requests in our support section, like how to create a custom element for that one. So in that way, this will lead them to the media based on who is logged in. So that's slash me will automatically convert their username and it will send them to corresponding media path. Okay, right now in this setup, we are using BuddyPress, we are using RT Media for the as a plugin point of view. We also have one alternative instead if you are trying to utilize BuddyBoss instead of BuddyPress, you just have to deactivate BuddyPress at your setup and you can enable the BuddyBoss pros and cons. We can discuss on that one. So the first thing, what benefit you are getting with BuddyBoss, like it has inbuilt media component. They have also bundled BBPress, so you do not have to include BBPress again. Okay, these are the two basic benefit what you are getting, and they have also bundled a couple of more plugins like BuddyPress Docs that is also bundled inside the BuddyBoss. BuddyPress follower plugin that is also bundled inside the BuddyBoss platform. So if you are trying to use BuddyBoss versus BuddyPress on the BuddyX theme, what is more beneficial for you? There are two things. First of all, what is our primary objective and how many features we are trying to use? Like, suppose that as a site owner, we normally think this feature, this is good, that feature, that is good. And we try to include everything. The problem what we get from these things, we are overloaded with the functionalities and our end user for whom we are trying to create our community, they're not familiar with all those functionalities, and they are not going to use everything. So the best approach is we have to make sure, instead of as a site owner, what I want, we have to focus on what our customers, what our end user are trying to utilize at a community point of view. Like some communities are focused on discussion forums. So BuddyPress is good for them. Some communities are focused on activities, posting activities, databases, posting images. Then they only are focused on building basic profile, only are focused on posting activities. So we have to make sure what our end user is trying to engage, what are the functionalities they are trying to utilize, instead of just overloading the website and make it unusable for the end customer. So my suggestion is, instead of keep adding lots of plugins, that is going to create lots of mess in terms of possible conflict, in terms of possible configurations, getting confused, which functionality is coming from which plugin. Like at our store, we have more than 40 plugins for the BuddyPress, but we do not suggest to use everything at a time. Keep only those functionalities enabled which are more oriented to your customer, more oriented to your end user who are trying to utilize your communities. You can introduce one feature after a certain time of period, instead of just having all those functionalities at a time. I have got a questions like subscribe, how to set up a subscription-based community. There are lots of options for that one. So the easiest option is go with the paid membership pro. It gives you the payment option. It gives you the one-time payment option, subscription-based payment option without using any third-party plugin. So the simplest approach is using PM Pro. There are lots of membership plugin, but those membership plugins are more like content locking. And here with the BuddyPress, we are not looking for the content locking. We are more focused on community logging. So community lock-in is inbuilt functionality of BuddyPress, and you can restrict it with different membership labels, what a person can do. And suppose that if you want to allow posting functionalities, the activity post can be done with having a specific role. You can also do that. With any member can send a friend request if they have a certain role or a certain membership level. You just have to think based on all possible options what you are getting on the BuddyPress, and everything can be logged. So the planning of these actions, like who can join a group, which group they can join, how many groups they can join, how many groups they can create, everything can be controlled with the use of code snippets or some third-party plugins or our plugins. You just have to focus or ask those questions, and our team or anyone else is going to help on that one. But in terms of having these possibilities, yes, you can do them. And for subscription point of view, couple of more plugins are there. Like couple of people use WooCommerce subscription, but I suggest that is the most lengthy way to create a subscription website for membership point of view. Because if you're trying to install a WooCommerce, that is itself a big plugin. And the primary objective is not to sell something as a product or as a digital project. So it is more focused in that direction, not for selling membership. So like using a big tool, do a small thing. So using a small plugin which can complete your requirement, that is the best approach to do those things instead of trying every possible way. And the second thing, I have also seen that like lots of people are just try lots of plugin on their live website, which is not a good approach, because every plugin what you are activating in your live production website, that is leaving a residue inside the option table, and that is going to impact your site performance. So if you are planning to do testing, do not do on your production or the development website. Create a new website or a staging website, test website, do your testing there. And if you like those features, only in that case, enable them on the live website, because you are creating those residual tables, you are creating those residual cron jobs, you are creating those auto load option values, which is going to impact your website performance in the long term. And those things you are not able to find it yourself unless you are going to hire a high-end developer to optimize your website later on. So from day one, for experiment point of view, do not use your main website for all those experiment. Just thinking we are trying to build a website, no one is there, but you are creating a database mess from day one. So all those testing should be done on a playground or should be done on your local website or a sandbox website instead of doing on the same domain on which you are trying to launch your community. Okay, these are the things what I was trying to cover. If you have any further questions, please feel free to talk. Anyone? Or I can continue, keep talking.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Is it possible to use the BuddyBoss app, but the BuddyX theme?
Yes, because when you are trying to utilize any app, they connect or fetch all the data using REST API. So it doesn't matter which theme you are using, because they just have to fetch the activities, they just have to fetch the connections or perform any action using REST API. Any app has their own interface to display all those things.
And by Buddy, I guess I mean BuddyBoss plugin. Right?
Yes, actually, they just have to install their connection plugin at your website. So it doesn't matter which theme you are using. So you are completely free to use any theme to use the BuddyBoss app or any app. So suppose that there are a couple of other vendors who are providing app like AppPresser. So they just provide a application to connect their interface, and on the application, they provide their own wrapper to display the community. So it doesn't matter which theme you are using. But in the web view, actually there are two views. First, the interface, what you are getting from the application, that is a different thing. But some pages are not ready for the application point of view, because application is a limited based on the functionalities what they had built. Suppose that you are trying to use an event plugin and that event plugin is not supported by the application. In that case, it try to fetch the web view of your website. And in that time, the theme UI, what you are getting out your website, that mobile view is going to be displayed there. That's all.
Okay.
Nowadays, every theme is already responsive, like responsiveness of any theme, like we have Rain theme and the BuddyX theme, and both are pretty responsive on all the devices. So web wrapping, or that is also one possible approach to utilize your, instead of going with a complete custom native web development. BuddyPress work on the multiple installation, any pros and cons having multi-site? Multi-site is a old fashioned, I can say. There's a reason behind that one, because lots of developers are not familiar with how multi-site is going to be operate with a BuddyPress. Actually, BuddyPress has two type of installation. First, there's a network installation, and second one is the site specific installation. But the problem with the BuddyPress is they have their own separate table. So when you are trying to install BuddyPress, the same table are going to be used for the first website or any website. So on multi website, you are not getting different communities on different subsite. You are getting one single communities on the primary website. So suppose that you have a domain and you have a multi website with a subdomain. So you have your community on the main website only, not on the subdomain. Second thing, if you are trying to activate BuddyPress on the subdomain only, then you have community on the subdomain only, not on the main website. But if you have activated on the network end, the primary domain will have all the community features. And there's a development label we can define on which subsite we can have a community. There is a complete documentation for that one. You can utilize that one, but it is more extensive because lots of developers are not familiar how BuddyPress is going to fetch the data and going to display on different website. So if developer is not well familiar with the complete data flow, they might get confused. And in the recent development, what we are doing with the BuddyPress itself is not focused on multi-site environment. Like we have also prepared a couple of documentation for the BuddyPress, and the core team is also not focused on deep or edge cases. So suppose that if you need multi-network communities, team is just have those functionalities, but they are not deep enough to focus all those resources in development in that direction. And same issue with the BuddyBoss, because BuddyBoss is the fork from the BuddyPress. So all the issues what you have inside the BuddyPress, they are also derived by the BuddyBoss itself. So in my opinion, I will not suggest to go in multi-site route with the BuddyPress nowadays. If you want different communities, go with a separate subdomain installation. In that way, you can manage your user in more organized way. And if you want to synchronize your user, there are lots of synchronization plugin where user can be synchronized to have same auto login functionalities. Only one benefit you are getting from the multi-site, users are synchronized and they do not have to log in again. And the same functionalities you can manage at your site using remote user sync functionalities. In that way, any user who is switching from main website to the remote website to the subdomain, they can still be logged in and they do not have to log in again. So that's the answer. Anything else?
I tried to make a community out of with multi-site.
Hmm.
And then I found that it was just a lot easier to use the blog plugin for each user, because I felt what I really wanted out of the multi-site was for each user to have their own blog.
Yeah,
but
having their own blog is a complete different scenario, because in that way you are not creating different communities. You are just giving them a website where they are arranging their blogs. That's all. So that can do easily with member blog plugin and allow them to publish their blog, and they are having a URL which can be shared.
Yeah. Okay.
Like so in some cases, multi-site is also a good option where you have a community at a one common main website, and you have different other features on the subdomain. So suppose that you have a store at subdomain, you have a documentation website at a subdomain. So in that case, that is helpful, but the community should be focused on only one primary or subdomain only. Like if you want to display your activity on multiple subdomains or multiple sites, then it will start creating confusions, because which activity is going to be displayed on which subdomain, that will create confusion.
Well, on my site, what I'm using a domain mapping plugin, so that the site itself, the single instance, is responsive to multiple domain names. I don't know if that's I don't know what that's going to do, but we'll see.
Suppose that if you have mapped multiple domains on different subdomains, so either you are using a domain mapping or you are going with a subdomain approach. For us, it is just a subsite. Okay, so it doesn't matter it is a domain or it is a subdomain. When someone is posting or creating a group, we are also tagging the site ID. And as you mentioned earlier, like if you want to display certain activity which is done on particular domain or particular subdomain, should display on that one. And for the same point I had mentioned earlier, that need little bit more deep knowledge. So they have to understand everything what people are doing is getting tagged with the site ID or not. And if that is getting tagged with the site ID, then we can display. Else, all activities, all members, all groups are going to be displayed on all the sites.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, suppose that you have created two groups on the first website. Then the same two groups are going to be displayed on your second site if that also has the same BuddyPress active on that one also. So the group page is also going to display the same groups what you have created on the first site.
Okay.
Okay, for the I have got another question like a group type functionalities. BuddyPress itself has a group type inbuilt functionalities, and by default, I haven't seen anything which is fetching or reading any BuddyPress activity data using bots, unless you are trying to create a custom script to read the database and display result based on that one. Up to this point, I haven't seen anything who is fetching any data from AI point of view. In terms of this can be done, obviously it can be done because the data is inside the database, and what we are trying to display, everything can be displayed in terms of data type. Activities can be displayed as a separate group. Group result can be displayed as a separate group. So things can be done, but someone has already done, not yet. Okay, for the community point of view, anything where you guys are getting stuck at somewhere in terms of functionalities or the basic functionalities, try to build something. Like as a site owner, what are the basic pain point you are getting with the building communities? Nowadays, I'm just monitoring the support ticket. The first common thing what I'm getting, which plugin is creating this conflict? Something is working, something is not working, something is working on the staging website, not on the live website, and how to debug those things, what are the possible conflict, and how to debug those things without impacting the main website. So if you are trying to run a community, the best advice is do not do all your experiment on the live website. So for same thing for the debugging. So suppose that if you are getting some issues, always create a staging website, clone your existing website. There are a couple of nowadays all the hosting has inbuilt staging site functionalities, a good hosting one. So clone your website and try to process the activation, deactivation process first. Like if any functionality is not working as expected, the first thing is take a look of all those plugins which are related to that functionalities, and first we can disable those plugins. Second, the browser console. Like inside the website, when you are checking it and at some page you are getting some error, the first thing what you can do is to take a look of the browser and make sure there is no console error. Because if you are getting any console error, in that case, that is the first obvious case to debug something. Suppose that I'm trying to check something and this is the console error log at present. It is some InstaWP specific, not the site specific. But this is the first thing what you have to check there to create a ticket. So first, check browser console. Second, test things on the staging website to make sure nothing got creating as a conflict, plugin conflict. And the third thing is enabling debug mode. Nowadays, there are a couple of plugins like to generate all the logs without doing any coding work. So inside the website, you can install a temporary plugin at your staging website. The plugin name is debugging. Normally, when we are getting a support request, and normally every client is not going to provide their SFTP detail. So the first thing, what we are doing to install this plugin debugging at their website to check what errors they are getting at present. Suppose that they are getting some issues on activity posting. So we are just trying to check activity posting page and post something during our testing, and we check what errors are logged during our testing. So suppose that I'm going to activate this one, and this will add a option inside this toolbar, tool debugging. And that is going to help us to isolate or help us to identify the real cause and provide a solution a little bit faster. Because if the support has a exact issue, like these are the errors we are getting, these are the error log we are getting, or this plugin is getting conflict, then it makes our life as a support person easier to identify and replicate those issues. And that help us to fix those issues little bit faster. So that is going to create all the error log inside the front end, and we can check without having the access of your server here. And this error log help us to identify which plugin is adding those error logs. So what you have to do, you just have to provide these error logs, and we have to make sure we have enabled these options so it doesn't display anything at your end, and save changes. And when you are done with your testing, you just have to deactivate this plugin. That's all. A simple setup like this. So the most useful plugin nowadays, what we are checking for the debugging purpose is the debugging one. The second plugin to isolate any issues is Query Monitor. Like you can check which errors, what you are getting, and what are those. This is the second best plugin what we use to debug any website. This one, the Query Monitor one. Okay, with these two plugins, you are going to get the real cause of those issues, what you are trying to describe. And when you are trying to create a ticket or raise a support request, these logs are going to help the developers or the support agent to isolate those issues very quickly. Okay, the next one, what are the additional features what you can utilize with the community? Like most of the people who are trying to build a community, they are trying to monetize it. Monetize in terms of selling their courses, selling some physical or digital resources, PDF files, or any physical thing, or any digital access. And nowadays, learning part is the most common element which is getting offered by lots of community website. And with BuddyX theme, we are providing the dedicated support with almost all popular LMS solutions like LearnDash, Twitter LMS, Sensei, and LearnPress. Every learning plugin has dedicated template inside our theme, and we have proper tested all those functionalities to make sure you are getting a nice and clean UI with all these plugins. So all the default functionalities what you are getting with any of these plugins, we are polishing those UIs and making sure you have a smooth experience with all those elements. And we are not trying to overkill or add lots of functionalities there to make sure we are not impacting the website performance. So the how we are polishing the UI for all these LMS1 is just basic template override plus CSS tweaks, not adding lots of functionalities from our end. So you do not get lots of conflict with third-party plugins like LearnDash got updated and theme got broken. So we are trying to avoid those things, and we are more focused on giving a basic support for all these elements. In terms of, we also have another theme, Rain theme. Rain theme is more focused on monetization. In BuddyX, we are not adding lots of functionalities, like not adding any feature dedicated to the LearnDash. But in the Rain theme, we are adding features as well as a add-on plugins. So in that way, every functionality is what we are enhancing that is not inside the Rain theme itself. We have created a dedicated add-on for that one, like Rain LearnDash add-on, Rain Dukan add-on. So we are creating all those custom functionalities inside that particular add-on. So it's on demand basis. So if you're using LearnDash, you can activate Rain LearnDash add-on. Then you will get course review functionalities. You will get different icon or different template for the LearnDash single course view. You are getting instructor functionalities. You are getting review functionalities. You are getting coming soon functionalities, something like that. That means micro functionalities are getting enhanced inside the Rain. And every plugin template override, or we are also providing a dedicated synchronization functionalities with the BuddyPress. Suppose that we have Rain LearnDash add-on and you have a LearnDash community. So with the LearnDash, you are selling your courses to your student, and for one specific single course, you have 100 people are enrolled to that particular course, and you want to engage with those 100 people only. So you can map those 100 people with BuddyPress group, and those course student getting synchronized with that BuddyPress group automatically. So suppose that you are getting 2 more students in that course, those students are synchronized with that BuddyPress group, which is linked with the LearnDash course. So that functionality part is the part of the Rain LearnDash add-on. So in that way, a group specific or a course specific students are able to communicate, ask questions at one place, which is a private space for them, which is a BuddyPress group. So in that way, you are able to segregate your pupil based on their interest areas. These things are missing inside the BuddyX theme. That's why I said, like, based on the functionalities in the BuddyX, we are just polishing the UI. We are not adding functionalities. But in the Rain theme, we are also adding dedicated functionalities with dedicated solutions. That is the primary difference between Rain and the BuddyX. Obviously, it depends upon the different people use case, like what their primary focus is. If their primary focus is community, then I will suggest go with BuddyX. If their primary focus is to monetization part, like multi-vendor part, LearnDash part, or LMS part, I will suggest go with a Rain, because they are getting more dedicated functionality-based enhancement. Even we have done lots of work with the multi-vendor solution also. Like suppose that if you are trying to sell your courses with WooCommerce, so you can create your courses with the WooCommerce, sell them. You have a earning dashboard. We have LearnDash dashboard from the front end. You can create your courses from the front end. So with the Rain, you are getting front end course creation functionalities, front end earning reporting functionalities, like that. You can try our sandbox with LearnDash dashboard. It will give you a more clear idea on that one. Or just contact our support. They will guide you what are the possible options, and you can take a look at those possible solutions. Okay, just wait for like any more questions, then I can answer those one, then I can proceed further.
I guess I didn't quite catch, or maybe you need to repeat again,
Which one?
the improvement of using BuddyX over the BuddyBoss theme. What would be the
With the BuddyBoss, like
impetus for that?
what is your use case? Like what you are trying to accomplish? Like the primary focus
A
is community or something else?
community.
Community. If your primary focus is a community, I can suggest like you can go with the BuddyBoss. There's a primary reason behind that one suggesting BuddyBoss because it is bundled with the media component. You do not have to include RT media or MediaPress. Nowadays, MediaPress development is almost past because BuddyPress itself is developing their own media element BP attachment. Second thing, BP follower plugin. BP follower plugin is almost abandoned. We are trying to merge it with the BuddyPress core, but we are not getting the permission from the core developer, like from Ray, to merge it inside the BuddyPress. So that is all already in the waiting list from almost 1 or 2 year. So
But
they
is the
had,
BuddyPress follow, you said?
yeah, BuddyPress follow. We are trying to
Mhm.
merge that functionality inside the BuddyPress. So we are waiting for the approval. Actually, I'm also the part of the BuddyPress core development team. So what's going in the BuddyPress, I'm following also that one. I'm also contributing to the BuddyPress. So the BuddyPress follow plugin, the same plugin is already merged inside the BuddyBoss.
Right.
Like, but it is a GPL code, anyone can copy it. BuddyBoss has merged inside the BuddyBoss. Same for the BuddyPress document, they had also merged it. Same for the BBPress, they have also merged inside the BuddyBoss. So you are getting a bundled solution. One problem, what I feel from my end, it is have lots of features that is going to impact the performance. Because sometimes you do not want to use all these features, but you have them. Okay, so if your primary focused is using the basic community element, then BuddyPress is much faster solution for you. But if your focused is document part or discussion part or media part, then go with the BuddyBoss.
Right, because I guess I wanted a collaboration space as well.
Yes, that's why I said that means actually it depends upon what people are trying to do and what are their requirement. So if your requirement is basic, then BuddyPress is going to give you a faster and smoother experience. And if you need a feature-rich functionalities, everything is well integrated, go with the BuddyBoss.
Okay.
Because RT media, for the media element point of view, BuddyBoss theme is a different thing. Theme is just a layout. So which theme you are using, that is a different thing. I'm asking about BuddyBoss platform plugin, which is available on GitHub. So all the core functionalities you are getting from the BuddyBoss platform plugin, which is a fork of BuddyPress, BabyPress, and all those things. Theme, you are getting a UI just like you are getting from BuddyX.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay. Uh, Anything else? Like up to this point, like if anyone has a live website, what is the performance score they are getting with the BuddyPress or BuddyBoss? How their website is performing? 3 second, 5 second, 10 second, like that.
I my site is still under development, so I don't really care about that stuff yet.
Okay. So ideally, when you are trying to build any community website, the first thing you need a good server. Minimum a dedicated VPS-based solution is a good solution if you're trying to run your community on the shared hosting. BuddyPress or BuddyBoss both are resource consuming because there are lots of background process keep going on, like notification, check, email check, messages are running in the background. So you have to make sure your site is hosted on a good server. So you can have enough RAM, enough CPU power to power up your community, because a slow website is not good for the user, because if they are not able to navigate, if they are not able to do something on the website, they are not going to be engaged on the community. So for any community platform, it is mandatory to have a good server. Problem with cache, suppose that when you are trying to run a community website, cache plugin are not that much good. There's a reason behind that one, because the data is dynamic. It is not a static. Activity page is dynamic, member page is dynamic, group page is dynamic, everything is dynamic. So logged in based data, what you are getting on those pages, everything is dynamic, and that is not going to be served by a static page as a static page. So most of your cache plugin like WP Rocket, WP Super Cache, or there are lots of cache plugin. None of them are going to be worked for BuddyPress or BuddyBoss in terms of user experience. For static pages like home page, about us page, these plugins are going to help, but not for the activity page. So you have to make sure you have a good server. Second, you have a object cache based data plugin like Redis cache, something like that, or memcache, or a couple of users are also using Lightspeed server or at least Nginx based server. So in that way, you have a better experience for your website. So make sure CDN is a different story. When you are trying to serve your static data from anywhere, for media element, for images, you can use any CDN. Like you can go with the buddy.net, you can go with the best suggestion I will suggest, like use the same CDN what your hosting company is offering, because in that way, you do not have to make additional DNS-based request. As an alternative, you can go with the WP Rocket-based CDN or EWW CDN services, or buddy.net. These are the best options what we are using for our client nowadays.
So BuddyBoss pushes a host provider called Rapid.
Rapid is their hosting company.
I mean, even in the back end, they have timing. There's a page in the back end that you can go to that it does give some timings. Like
Actually, on the Rapid server, they are using they are providing the CDN service as well. They are also providing object cache, and their server is Lightspeed based cache. So they are already utilizing all those suggestions what I'm trying to make. So Rapid is also a good option. Cloudways is also good. Right now, we are using Cloudways. Cloudways is Nginx-based server, and Nginx plus Apache-based server, and they are also providing Redis cache. You can contact your host Cloudways support. They can enable Redis cache on your server. And for the CDN point of view, they also have a dedicated integration with Cloudflare. So you can also enable Cloudflare Edge Cache with as a CDN service. So for a network level, if you are using Cloudflare, you are getting two big benefit. First, you are also protected with WAF, like it also acts as a firewall, and it also acts as a different node-based CDN service.
Right. I guess the Rapid is like 4 times as much as Cloudways.
Yeah, in the terms of pricing. End of day, in the terms of performance, we had noticed that your site is much better performing on the Rapid. You can also do the same thing using creating your own digital hosting OSINT server. Just install a droplet, install whatever you want there, because all those tools are available to install easily. So any good server is good enough for you. That's all. So which hosting company you are using? Because BuddyBoss has built that server, they already know about what a community need. So that is already tuned up in that direction. Same for the Cloudways point of view. Cloudways, lots of people are switched from Cloudways to Rapid, but Cloudways is still a good option for us.
Yeah.
For media folder, you can use AWS. We normally use bucket services like media offload plugin. There are media offload plugin, and you can allow to synchronize user uploaded media to the AWS or Google Cloud. Normally, we have used WP offload plugin for our couple of clients to upload all the uploaded media items and serve from AWS. Yeah, complete media folder can be served from AWS bucket. That in that way you can save your storage, but storage is cheaper. That is not too much thing to worry about unless you are trying to upload lots of videos. Actually, CSS and JS, that doesn't take too much space. The only thing take space is the videos. So if you're not hosting videos, these synchronization are not that much helpful. Like we have a big client, like they have more than 100 TB of videos. They have thousands of courses. Every video session is 2 or 3 hour long, something like that. They are using bunny.net, and we are synchronizing their LearnDash courses with bunny.net. It's your call which service you are trying to use. You can utilize any one of them. In the long run, media offload is a good solution in terms of storing all the media related to the users to a different location. Any additional questions? What you have? We are trying to run these sessions on every week. So that is going to be a ongoing process for our customers. So you can feel free to suggest whatever you want to ask. We have support sections. We will create a different topic every week, and we are going to discuss on those things. So this will be an ongoing process for us nowward. So in that way, we can suggest our customers what plugins you can use, what solutions what you can use, what are our pros or cons or experience with a specific plugins or a flow, what you are trying to accomplish.
Will this recording be available?
Yeah, we are also posting on the YouTube, and this is a live session on the YouTube as well.
All right.
We will send you via email, like we have a RSVP section. Anyone who has RSVP, we are going to send them. And that will also be available at our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay, I think we have covered our agenda for today. Like the primary purpose of this call for today is just to cover up the basic questions what people are asking, like login registration, how to set up them, how to do the page mapping, how to do the branding for the login in the registration page, and including the answer whatever questions we are getting on the live discussion. We can wrap our call today if everything is okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us today.
Okay.
If you have any questions, we already have our support section. Feel free to drop your questions and we will answer them. Thank you.